Welcome to the key review all about the PUGSS conflict management model. This model offers a structured approach to navigating disagreements and fostering effective communication. It provides a clear framework for addressing interpersonal conflicts constructively. What are the 5 stages of the PUGSS conflict management model? We have P, which is describe the problem, U, which is achieve understanding, G, which is identify goals, S, which is brainstorm solutions, and the second S, which is select the best solution. So first P, describe the problem. Here we state the observable behavior and its impact using descriptive, non-judgmental language. For example, when the report arrives after 5 p.m., I can't meet the submission deadline. In U, our achieve understanding. Before moving to solutions, we ensure both parties understand each person's perspective. For example, so you're saying the client request came in late. Is that right? In G, our identify goals, we surface what each person needs from a good outcome, considering both yours and theirs. For example, I need a 3 p.m. draft. You need clear specs by noon. Anything else? In the first S, we brainstorm solutions. We generate a variety of options without evaluating them yet and record all possibilities. For example, ideas could include 1, earlier handoff, 2, shared checklist, and 3, an auto reminder at 11 a.m. The last S is where we select the best solution. We choose the option that best meets the agreed goals using established criteria. For example, based on feasibility and reliability, let's do the 11 a.m. reminder and the 3 p.m. draft. So to review, we have describe the problem, achieve understanding, identify goals, brainstorm solutions, and select the best solutions. So what do communication behaviors using PUGSS look like, and how do we use them? We're going to cover descriptive versus evaluative language, self-disclosing emotions, perception checking, paraphrasing, nonverbal responsiveness, and adapting, all within the PUGSS framework. Descriptive versus evaluative language can be employed primarily in P, but also throughout. Here we'll use descriptive language, the behavior and the impact. Like when side conversations start, I miss key details. To replace judgmental or blaming statements. For example, you're careless. This reduces defensiveness. Self-disclosing emotions can be employed in both the P and the U. Own your feelings by using I feel statements instead of assigning motives. For example, I feel anxious about the deadline and want to plan earlier. Perception checking can be employed in the U. For example, describe a nonverbal cue, offer 2 possible interpretations, and then ask for accuracy. For example, I noticed your tone drop and fewer replies. Are you frustrated with the timeline? Paraphrasing can be used in the U. Summarize the other person's key points to confirm understanding. For example, so your concern is specs keep changing after lunch. Did I get that? Nonverbal responsiveness can be employed through the U and throughout. Show you're listening through open posture, nods, steady eye contact, or patient silence. Observe their nonverbals to guide your next steps. Adapting can be used whenever U isn't achieved, but also throughout. If understanding isn't achieved, loop back to the problem P stage, rephrase, provide new evidence, or slow the pace. For example, let me rephrase and give some concrete examples here. So to review, we have descriptive versus evaluative language, self-disclosing of emotions, perception checking, paraphrasing, nonverbal responsiveness, and adapting. How do we describe the 5 components of interpersonal conflict, including expressed struggle, perceived incompatible goals, perceived scarce resources or rewards, interdependence, and a climate of competition versus cooperation? Expressed struggle is when the disagreement is communicated, whether verbally or non-verbally. For example, I disagree with delaying the draft, said with a tense tone. Perceived incompatible goals are when parties believe that their goals can't be met. For instance, one party desires speed while the other prioritizes exhaustive accuracy for every update. Perceived scarce rewards and resources are when there seems to be not enough of something valued, such as time, money, recognition, or staff. For example, we both need the same editor for 2 projects, due this Friday. Interdependence is when each person's outcome affects the others. For example, your on-time submission depends on their 3 p.m. draft completion. A climate of competition is characterized by a win-lose climate that escalates conflict, whereas a cooperative approach lowers defensiveness and enables problem solving. For example, I have to win this point is more competitive, whereas let's find what works for both of us is more cooperative. The 5 components of interpersonal conflict are expressed struggle, perceived incompatible goals, perceived scarce rewards and resources, independence, and a climate of competition instead of cooperation.